Wow, you're going back way back to childhood. Probably the age of 3, I think, is probably the earliest memories that I have. But the reason why that's memorable to me is because my mother, who had a 8th grade education, my father also didn't go much beyond that. She wanted her children to read and write and do the things that she didn't have the education for. So she taught us all to read. Say by the time we were 3 or 4, we could read and write. That's including the cursive writing. So those were the early days of learning how to write and enjoying writing. And also reading came along at the same time. So, like we started reading all the early sources of reading, like the fairy tales and the comic books. Walt Disney was particularly strong in my life. So those were very inspiring.
So would you say your mother was the inspiration, or what was the?
My mother was. My father was scientifically, he had many books lying around the house about electricity, marine life, the dinosaurs, monsters, whatnot, that he himself was interested in, a lot of popular mechanic books. So we got involved with that. I can remember somewhere around the age of 5 that he would set up a crystal radio set. And we'd go into the next room and listen to Jack Benny or whoever was on the radio through the crystal radio sets. So that was when I was 5 or 6 years old.
Mm-hmm. With the writing, do you remember an actual time when you were sitting there writing and just feeling inspired?
3 years old.
What was the situation? Can you describe the
ABCs, just the typical things that I think that our mothers or our parents would have us do just to kind of show that we can write our names, our well, we weren't going to school then, but the names of our relatives,
Do you remember the actual incident, the actual time?
Only in general. It's quite a haze back in those days in the sense that everything was so unreal. There's such a surreal quality to those early days. But I can remember being attacked by chickens, a little bantam rooster, and that was quite inspirational.
In what way?
Well, he could outrun me. So I was trying to protect my behind from his picking bill. And of course, you come up with bloody hands. Well, that's a memorable thing. And the inspiration is to outrun him or don't go near him. So those are the things I would write about even at those ages, So by the time I got to kindergarten or first grade, then I was well able to do that.
You would write about those experiences?
Yeah. Because they were frightening, number one, and you think about the thing that stuck with you. I think the good memories of the birthdays, perhaps, or Christmas and stuff like that, and then the snakes. Where I grew up in, I was born in Little Rock, so we lived by the Red River, and there were snakes. There were we had backyard animals, chickens, ducks, pigs, stuff like that. So it was a lot to write about.
Well, so it sounds. Are you a writer now? Is that what you're?
I was published before I sold my first artwork.
Okay. So it's all kind of based. That's all based on having learned from your mother the writing you feel.
Basically, she was a pusher. My father died when I was young, so he didn't have much interaction with us as young kids, but. My mother was the main person that I tried to satisfy coming up.